Piss you off today. Welcome to Traffic Keys. I am your host, Atiba, and today I'm going to piss you off. That is, if you care about your website, if you care about your analytics, if you care about traffic going to your website, okay? Today's not going to be a fun message or topic that we're going to be discussing at all. And we started a couple days ago, and it's all framed around your page speed. How fast is your website? Because Big Brother Google has said time and time again that they hate slow websites. But what's slow? What's fast? Who's doing the measuring? And how do I fix it? That's the question so many of us as website owners, as business owners, have to ask because we've got to nail page speed. It's just absolutely imperative, right? And so 2 days ago, we started with this conversation, and I introduced you to a tool, GT Metrics, and we put a site that I found on page 11 of a search, and I stuck it into GT Metrics. And if you remember, 2 days ago, so today is Thursday. So on Tuesday, 2 days ago, and I'm going to pull this up and show you guys here. This site was a C on GT Metrics 2 days ago. Today, it is a freaking D. Why? Yeah, if I was the owner of this website, I would be pissed off. How did I go from a C to a D in 2 days? And probably you're going to say the same thing that this website owner is going to say. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. This is one of the challenges with page speed. I can test right now and I can test later, and I'll get two different results. So who do you trust? Well, we're going to dive a little bit into that, and I'm only going to make it worse because I'm showing you here GT metrics and the page speed after 2 days it gets different. But now, get this, guys. I'm going to show you another tool, and that's what I said I was going to do. We're going to look at 3 different tools to help you measure your page speed. So GT metrics is one, and we talked about that 2 days ago. Now, today, I'm going to introduce you to a new one. And this is the next 2 tools that we're going to do. So today and tomorrow, the tools that we're going to do are both Google tools. Like Google owns them. Google created them. And here's what's amazingly frustrating. They both give you different results for your page speed. Absolutely asinine. So let me introduce you here to Page Speed Insights. This is Google Page Speed Insights. And if you're looking for the link, it's down below. Now, here's what I will say to you. I'm showing you these 3 tools, and the 3 tools are free. And I am telling you, you need to benchmark your website in all 3 of them. Don't ignore one. Look at all 3 of them because they do provide slightly different data. Okay, and slightly different data points. All right, and we went through some of GT metrics the other day. Now let's take a look at Page Speed Insights. So when you come to Page Speed Insights, it's a very, very simple page, especially compared to GT metrics. You just put in the URL that you're interested in, and you click Analyze. And it's going to take just a little second to analyze this here. It's going to come up. And what they're doing right now is it's going out and it's actually pulling up your entire page and surfing your page and doing all of the metrics and stuff that it's going to be bringing back to you, which it just did. Thank you, because I was running out of things to say. So, and so here in Page Speed Insights, you'll see at the top left-hand corner, you can look at the mobile results or the desktop results. And remember, 2 days ago, we talked about that. Actually, it wasn't 2 days ago. It was yesterday. We talked about that you must master the page speed and the page experience on both mobile and desktop. Do not ignore one in favor of the other. You will be dinged in your rankings. So now, these guys, they're getting a 33 on Page Speed Insights. They're getting a 33. GT Metrics, they had a 65. Well, actually, no, a D. perform that's a cumulative of the two, but it had a D, but it's still that's above a 33. Like a 33 is true. Like you ever get 33 on a test in school? Like if you got a 33 on a test, then yeah, that's seriously failing. You were just flat out guessing. But as we scroll down here, you see it's going to show us some field data that it's incorporating, which is good actually. And you will see the first contextual paint, and it has it at 4.2 seconds. The FCP PageSpeed Insights has it at 4.2 seconds. Now, when we go over to GTmetrix, look at this. Make sure I'm looking at the right. Oh, actually, no, I think it's Logic LCP. Let me make sure I'm looking. Yes, we're going to look at LCP first. So, largest contentful paint here. The LCP has it at 4.3 seconds. Come over to GTmetrix, and it has the LCP, largest contentful. Man, I can't say that. Paint. Woof. It ties my tongue. Tied my tongue 2 days ago, and it's tied my tongue today again. But at 2.1 second, half the time. What in the world? What in the world? Why is one okay and the other one at 4.3 seconds is absolutely awful? Absolutely awful. Okay. And you'll see if you go through these four metrics at the top, at least will exist on both reports. And you're looking here now, sorry, I keep calling this is PageSpeed Insights. I'm getting ahead of myself. So it's going to now show you that it had some lab data, and this is field data, right? So it breaks it out into two categories, lab data and field data. And so in its field data, it's telling us that this is data that's collected over the last 28 days from actual users on this website. Yes, Google knows that much about your website. All right. And so that's the field data. Then down here below, it has the lab data. So in ideal circumstances in the lab, not a user, just a robot going out and looking at your website and pulling it back, what is the data looking like then? And so it says in the lab here, you're doing slightly better in the lab, not much better, but slightly better in the lab. Okay. And then it's going to give you some opportunities. Where can you speed up? And it's going to tell you here, serve next gen images. Now I'm curious. Let me see, where is this? So notice in GTmetrix, it says the top issues are an excessive DOM, right? An excessive DOM. You say, oh, well, what does that mean? And I don't know what a DOM is. Like, what the heck is that? And what the heck are next gen formats for images? Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the point here, guys. As I said to you 2 days ago, this is not something that you can fix on your own. You can run these reports and you can stay on top of the data and realize that you have a problem, but trying to fix it, don't do that. Hire a professional to try to fix this, right? And no, for somebody asked me, sent me a message, no, I'm not that professional because I don't even do this type of work. My agency doesn't even do this type of work. We won't even take a client that needs this type of work done. We'll tell you, go fix your page speed and your those SEO issues first, and then we can help you. Because honestly, yeah, you need somebody who's really knows their stuff in terms of how your website was built and coded in order to fix some of these issues. But my bigger point that I wanted to show you here is PageSpeed Insights says you have an opportunity to say 3.9 seconds if you serve next gen formats. GTmetrix, that didn't even come up on their list. So who's right? Guess what? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. And that is one of the most frustrating things because the answer is yes. They're both technically right. Which one should you fix first? Well, it depends on your developer that you can find and what they can do. Eliminate render blocking resources. Let me see here. So again, another one that didn't even show up. Did not even show up on the GTmetrix test. Okay. So what is my overall point and what am I saying to you guys? It's time for you to take your URL. I've given you now two free tools, GTmetrix, and now today, PageSpeed Insights by Google. Go to those tools and put your website in. See how it's actually testing. See what's actually happening. Stop thinking that your website is fast, because I guarantee you, okay, actually, let's just do that. So this said it took 4.2 seconds. I wonder, let me see if how I can do this, guys. Bear with me here. All right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do our own field test right now. Okay. So I'm going to come here and all right. So I've got this blank tab here and I'm going to put that website. Okay. Cellphonerepair.com. Remember, it said it took almost 4 seconds for it to load. Here we go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I got the 3 Mississippi, but that thing was loaded. Like, yeah. So to the naked eye, it looked perfect. But the tests prove that they're not. Oh, and let me say this. I should say this too. If you do have to prioritize, if budget becomes an issue, right, and beyond talent of your developer in terms of what order to fix stuff in, if budget is an issue, then the thing that you do is you prioritize PageSpeed Insights first. Okay? Prioritize PageSpeed Insights first. Why? Because this is Google's opinion. Google doesn't care what GTmetrix has to say. Okay? Google cares about what it has to say. And so if it says your site is slow because of these reasons, then fix those first. If budget's an issue, fix those first, because Google is boss in this case, because they control the rankings. All right. So, guys, again, what's my advice to you? Get your URL, go to those two sites, PageSpeed Insights and GTmetrix, and just plug it in. It's free to do it, and find out where you land. Find out where you land. If you're a D, then you know you got major problems. If you're a C, you've still got major problems. In the B range, you're not doing horribly, but you're also not doing good. You want to get into that green A area. And then this will give you a list of what you need to do to get there. And then you just got to find a developer who can help you. Don't try to do it yourself. All right. So tomorrow we'll be back with the third tool in this series. Again, another one that is presented to us by Google, presents data in a slightly different way, and it's a very different way to access the tool than what we've done so far. So I will see you guys tomorrow on Traffic Keys. Looking forward to it. Bye-bye.